Representative Pam Altendorf, and I'm coming live to give you some breaking news. Of course, we would expect our Minnesota media to cover the important news stories that are coming out of the Minnesota legislature. Unfortunately, this year, we are not seeing the Minnesota news adequately describing and reporting what is happening. We are not seeing the Minnesota media reporting and describing accurately to the citizens of Minnesota what's happening in St. Paul this year. Today, it was quiet on the House floor, and yet, back in the public safety and the conference committees, the Democrats slid in with no transparency to the public safety omnibus bill, 2 gun laws. So there's 2 gun laws that they put into this bill, universal background checks and red flag laws. Now, of course, they try to make it seem like this is going to solve all of our problems for crime. And anyone that does a little bit of research can find easily that states that already have these gun laws in place, on the books, in their laws, is making no difference for the gun crimes. In fact, many of these states have higher gun crimes. We need to be honest about what's happening here in Minnesota. What happened in the committee is they adopted this decision to put these 2 gun bills into the public safety omnibus bill. They had it posted for public notice for only 14 minutes. Now, this is very controversial. It did not allow the public to have a say in the process. This is unconstitutional. Minnesota right now, we are suffering under the Democratic trifecta by 1 Senate seat that we lost in Hastings by 321 votes. The Democrats are acting like they have a supermajority here in Minnesota, when the truth is our state is very close to being 50-50. This is a mockery of our process, and every person in Minnesota should be mad at the Democrats who are acting like they have full control of our state government and are continuing to push forth bill after bill that is not reflective of Minnesota, of our citizens, and of what they campaigned on. No one went to your doors, I am going to guess, and told you that they were going to pass unconstitutional gun laws here in Minnesota. So we're a state, a very purple state that you could say is 50-50 or 51-49. They are acting like they are a 70-30 supermajority state, a very deep blue state. In Minnesota, there was 0 notice, 0 debate, again, in the public safety omnibus bill conference committee today. The Democrats slid in universal background checks, red flag laws. They gave us 14 minutes notice and to the public, and they passed it on party lines through. Now, this will go back to the Senate and it will go back to the House, which will have to be an up and down vote. The other thing the public needs to be aware of is the politics in this. This is such an important bill. Obviously, many people take very seriously our rights to own guns, which is a constitutional Second Amendment right. Many people take this very seriously, and instead of the Democrats running through the process correctly, they shut out the public debate. I am asking you to contact your legislators. There's 2 senators. One is Senator Hauschild, one is Senator Kupec. Both of them are in districts that neither one of their districts approve of these gun bills. In fact, their sheriffs, the county sheriffs, have put out statements that they object to these gun laws. So the question is, will Hauschild and will Kupec vote with their districts who voted them into office? Will they vote with their districts, or will they side with the radical elected Democrats with this radical agenda that seems to be overtaking the state of Minnesota? We need to contact your legislators, contact the Democrats, and let them know that no one gave them this supermajority to take away our constitutional rights. Governor Walz at the State of the State address basically told us that he's going to push this through no matter what. This is not what Minnesota wants. And I just have a question for all of you. I know that the Democrats love to drive fear and emotion into this, the whole debate over gun rights. And it is so pathetic. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you can post in the comments. So all of you haters who will come on this post and will start posting, tell me this. Who passed the laws of gun-free zones? Who passed the laws to make schools gun-free zones? Who passed the laws to make malls and public places gun-free zones where all these shootings usually take place? That's right. It's the Democrats. And now when in these areas there are crimes and there are shootings, they turn around and say the problem is the guns. The fact is, criminals do not follow the laws. The fact is, they are manipulating you, the public, to pass these laws. And if you look at every state that has these gun laws, it's easy to look up. California, Chicago, every place where there is very strict gun laws, there is very high gun crime. That is a fact, and the reason why is because criminals do not follow laws. This should be common sense. Many people own guns for their own protection, and that is our right. That is our constitutional right to protect ourselves. With the crime that we're having in Minnesota, I have even talked to and interviewed people in Minneapolis who said that because the gun crime, let's go back to the riots, the George Floyd riots. They said many of those stopped, not because the police were able to take control of their streets again, but it was the lawful gun owners that were finally able to take control of their streets. So Minnesota, we need to wake up. We have a tyrant governor. We have a radical, out of control Democrat trifecta that is pushing forth unconstitutional laws. You do need to wake up. You do need to contact your legislators, but more so, you need to contact Senator Hauschild and Senator Kupec, and you need to tell them to vote no. They do not have the supermajority in the state of Minnesota. They need to stop acting like they do. And again, if you're just coming in on the video, the Democrats snuck in and put through on the omnibus public safety bill, universal background checks, red flag laws. They put it into the bill. They gave a 14-minute public notice and then passed it through the committee. So these are coming back to the floor now for a vote. And then the next step would be to sign into law for Governor Walz. And the public does need to get involved. Of course, I'm talking about peacefully, but your voices need to be heard. We need to step up, Minnesota, and understand what's happening here in the state of Minnesota. So please reach out, contact these senators, and let them know they do not have the supermajority here in Minnesota, and we say no to them trampling on our constitutional rights. Thank you.